Hi everyone, I hope you all are having a great day. If not, hopefully this video can be a bit of a mood brightener for you. So this is kind of bookish related. The last 2 years, I ended up going through a really bad reading slump. Probably the longest reading slump I think I've ever been in my entire life. It lasted almost 2 years, which is ridiculous. I don't know why I was in it. I don't know what brought it on, but I found a way to compensate for how much reading was not something I loved doing. The slump was killing my vibe. Anything I picked up, I just wasn't getting into, and I was struggling to read it. To compensate, I started living more. I started making memories, and I started having a ton of adventures. And one thing that I came to realize is, as much as my mom calls me a mushroom, as somebody who will gladly stay in the comfy, cozy vibes of my own house and will read books, I also think I am more a hobbit than a mushroom. I gladly love having adventures and making memories on my own or with friends. And because of that, one of the things that I realized that I was doing was I wanted to make a bit more memories. I wanted to revisit things from my childhood. I wanted to see new places. I wanted to do new things. And I wanted to go and live. And one of the things that came about from that was I created a bucket list. Now, I know sometimes bucket lists have a negative connotation. My one's a little bit different. I found New Year's resolutions just never stuck. Usually by this point in time, something just wasn't working right. I also found that I tried a bingo card to see if that would work. No. I just found that at the end of the year, I was looking at the negative parts of me on that bingo card of what I didn't finish. And then I started trying to analyze why I didn't finish it. I'm not a huge fan of that. I don't like the fact that as humans, our nature is usually to look at the negative side of things and our negative side. No, that just wasn't working. There are too many things that I can be positive about in life that I do not want to look at the negative and start nitpicking all these little things about myself. So I decided that when winter hit this year, and when I say this year, I mean like near the end of 2025, I had certain things I wanted to do. And I started realizing that there were a lot of things. There were things from my childhood I wanted to revisit. There were new things I wanted to try. There were things that I wanted to do in my house. There were things I wanted to do outside. And I realized what I needed to do was create something like this. Now, I'm not really artistically inclined, so mine is not as aesthetically pleasing as I think some people create theirs to be. For me, I just decided to start marking down everything I wanted to do. And I've colored in things as we have completed them. And by we, I mean I did it with my mama or I did it with my friends. And I loved getting to make these memories. I loved having these little adventures. They were so much fun. Now, am I going to intentionally see everything on this list being completed? Probably not. That's not the intention. But I'm also not going to be looking at it as a negative thing of what didn't I get done off of this. It's more the fact that this is a living, breathing document. Things on here that I'm probably not going to want to do after I've done it once. Maybe I don't like it. Maybe it was just to do it once and be done with it. Perhaps there are things that I stumble across and decide I want to add on to try the next season. And that is perfectly okay. I actually have on here, make a spring bucket list. And the reason being is I've come to realize that this is bringing me so much joy. This sits on the fridge at our house. We see it every day. And honestly, there are some days where we don't do anything at all because we have other stuff we want to do, or we do want to just stay in and read, or there's times where we do want to do something, and we take a look at this list, and we plan it. Things happen, we can do it. Sometimes things happen and we can't. It's not the end of the world. I hope that this inspires you. If you are struggling with a reading slump, and you don't really know what to do, start looking to have an adventure. Maybe making a list will help. Maybe just going and doing an adventure will be what you need to do. But as somebody who is getting out of a reading slump and still wants to balance equally both sides of herself, I think that this was a really happy compromise. So hopefully you guys are inspired by what I've had to say. And honestly, if you are going through a reading slump, it can feel so isolating when you love reading as much as I know I love reading. It just feels like your best friend is not there for you anymore. So don't worry if you're going through a reading slump. Don't worry about when is it going to be over. At some point in time, you're going to pick up a book and all the words are just going to mesh and you know you're going to be back on track. But when you're going through it, do not isolate. Try and embrace something that you want to do. Learn a language, learn a new skill, Go and take a class in something you wanted to, or go and visit that place that you've been curious about checking out and now you've got the time to go and do it. Or maybe you revisit things from your childhood. Maybe you start that game again. Or maybe you go, like me, and you make a snow angel. Whatever floats your boat, go and do it. Give it a try. Bring back joy to your life, because reading, it's fantastic. But there are other things that can also bring you joy as well. And I never thought as a reader I would say put the book down and go and live a little. But it can be a very true statement, especially when in a reading slump. So I hope this has helped. I hope you all stay safe, stay well, and I will see you next time. Bye!